Of chopper accidents brings the disaster, the dangers rather, that these helicopter pilots may have faced. It brings it up, and they're trying to keep the crops fresh during the cold.
And it's a difficult process. We brought in Captain Julie right now to give us some perspective, and you can't underestimate fatigue.
Absolutely
This is a serious issue.
That's right, Kelly. These pilots last night started flying around 8 p.m. That's when the temperatures dropped cold enough that the farmers felt it was necessary for them to go out and protect the crops. These pilots go out at night in very dark conditions. You can imagine out by Pahokee, Lake Okeechobee area where they're flying. It's very hostile environment for them. Very low visibility. There's smoke out there from the cane fields at this time of year that they are burning. They go out, they find the inversion layer, which is a layer of warm air just above the surface, and they force that down on the crops. There's a lot of pressure put on these pilots as well to keep flying, because while they're going to get fuel, there's nobody protecting the crops. So the farmers are very intense on getting the pilots to return out into the fields and keep continuing to cover these crops. So they hot fuel these aircrafts. They don't actually stop and shut down. They keep the blades running, they start putting the fuel in the aircraft, and they just keep going. So it's a lot of pressure put on these pilots, and understandably, after flying 12 hours through dark in the cold, a lot of the aircrafts didn't even have heaters in them. In Florida, we don't have heaters very often in helicopters, so cold accelerates that fatigue and makes it very difficult for these pilots.
Which makes a lot of people ask, is it really that necessary that we get all these choppers up there? And the answer is really yes. I mean,
yes, Shannon, it is, because if you can imagine, the cost of flying these helicopters is extremely expensive. But the cost of losing the crops is enormous for Florida and the economy and these farmers themselves. So the pressure that's put on the pilots is understandable. I would recommend perhaps that in this case, if fatigue was an issue, that another person is in the aircraft, not necessarily a pilot, but another person with the pilot is there to stimulate him, keep him focused, and prevent these kind of accidents from happening again.
Kind of like when you're driving at night. You need someone to help you stay awake.
Exactly.
All right, Captain Julie, thank you very much for coming in tonight. We appreciate it.